Hi, this is Atya here. Welcome to PhDpreneur, where we discuss PhD, mindset, and personal finance. So today's video is about Vipassana meditation. If you are not into it, then you can skip this video because you need to be aware of the technique to understand what I am trying to say over here. In Vipassana, we are always told by goenka that maintaining 2 hours of meditation practice is mandatory. And I think if you have attended any course, 10-day or any course, that is the major takeaway, and that is the only takeaway from this meditation. But 2 hours of meditation daily it can be difficult to find, to establish that kind of practice. First of all, everybody is so busy. Even if we have the best intention, sometimes it is not possible to sit there for 2 hours. So in this video, I'll be discussing strategies which has helped me maintain my practice. Hopefully it will help other meditators as well who are struggling to maintain a practice, who have not yet started, or who are just trying to establish the practice of 2 hours per day. So let's take a recap and let me share my journey of how it all started with me, whether I was doing 2 hours per day earlier that time or no, how things eventually transitioned for me. I remember my Vipassana course I started in 2018, I think it was January. So when I attended the course, I did not understand everything, and to be honest, I didn't understand the technique also fully. And as goenka says also in the course, it requires at least 3 courses to get the grip of the technique. And I think same happened with me. I did not understand. Without understanding the technique, it is difficult to start with 2 hours, especially when you are not accustomed to that kind of routine. So I was doing, before Vipassana, I was doing the meditations on the internet, guided meditations. If some mentor has taught me, then those kind of meditation. But it was when I came into this path that I realized the depth and the kind of meditation, and it really appealed to me. So I started with Vipassana. It was my first year, I think, if I recall, I was doing 5 or 10 minutes like that. I may be regular, but it was never 2 hours. It was not a very consistent practice. So my first 2 years went like that only. Then I took admission for PhD, and in the campus I was introduced to one Vipassana meditator. She added me to WhatsApp groups where weekly group settings were going on, where they were, this community component was there. And that is when, at that point, my practice started getting a little serious. When I saw people around me serious and really taking efforts to be on this path. So that was it. So then I started slowly. Still, it was not consistent, but I think over the years, the consistency has only increased. The level of concentration also has increased. So what I want to say over here is, if in first course or 2 courses, if you are not able to concentrate or you are not able to sit for 2 hours, it's okay. Efforts should be made for sitting at least 5 minutes or 10 minutes per day. And I will share those strategies in the video. So, and one more thing I want to point out is, during the retreat, everything is very conducive for meditation. The food is very sattvic. The environment is devoid of any kind of distractions. We don't have mobiles or anything, but that is not the case when you reach home. We have our busy lives and there are so many distractions. Every time some or the other message will keep popping on your screen. There is laptop, there is phone, there are people around you. It is okay if you start with 5 minutes. Okay, this rigid mindset of 2 hours of all or nothing, or 2 hours or nothing, that will only hinder the progress. That will not help in that direction. So now that this So now that I've told my story, let's begin with the strategies to implement to reach to that level of 2 hours per day. First is, if you are a beginner, and this video is primarily aimed for beginners who are trying to establish the practice in Vipassana. If you are a beginner, then one thing to keep in mind is you need to start with 10 minutes, then gradually increase. If you have never meditated before, or even if you have meditated before, Vipassana meditation is completely different from all the other kinds of meditation. I feel that, for me at least, in spite of doing meditation earlier before coming to Vipassana, it took me a long time to get accustomed to this kind of serious practice. We are trying to get to the path of serious practice. It is important that you start with 10 minutes, and 10 minutes you maintain full focus. That's it. Either you can do it 5 minutes in the morning and 5 minutes in the evening, or 10 minutes in the morning and 10 minutes in the evening. This pressure of 2 hours of meditation, especially in the beginning, if you are able to sit for 2 hours in the beginning, then it's fine. But if not, then it's okay. You can start with 10 minutes. But with 10 minutes, you try to have full focus. Sometimes what happens, we blame our willpower when the sitting arrangement is to be blamed. You remember when we attended 10-day courses, the cushions were very comfortable. Actually, I tried to search online also for those cushions, but I did not get it. Those kinds of cushions, if they are not there, then sometimes what happens, just willpower is not enough. The sitting arrangement also needs to be proper. If you just put a mat and sit on that, sometimes the legs get sore. For 1 hour, it becomes little difficult. So what I have done, I got this thing from Amazon. What this does is, I put a mat, then I keep this, and then I sit on top of it. And this is way more comfortable than if you just put a mat flat on the ground and then sit on it. These are small things, but in the end they affect the quality of meditation. Then, as Goenka says, the sensations are the cause of thoughts. Okay, so when we look at sensations, the same attitude should be there while looking at thoughts. विचारों को भी समता से देखना है. अगर हम sensations को भी समता से देख रहे हैं, तो विचारों को भी समता से ही देखना है. So that is the thing. If any kind of thoughts come, which will still do come in my meditation practice, of even then thoughts need to be observed from the viewpoint of an observer, and the way you observe the sensations, the same technique should be applied to thoughts. Because what happens, what I have seen personally is that during meditation the kind of thoughts or destructive thoughts increase, because it is trying to find a way out. The sensations and all the sankaras, it is trying to find a way out of your system. अगर उसको समता से नहीं देखा, तो then it will only multiply. Especially in beginning, we tend to feel like there is a lot of guilt. When you miss the sessions, there could be a possibility that you feel guilt, and this guilt will further prevent you from having a good meditation experience. So the best thing is, if you miss a day, or if you, because of any kind of emergency, you miss your meditation sessions, then bounce back, get back to routine. Do not feel guilty for it. One thing also that has helped me is, my practice became serious the moment I came in touch with a community which was on the same path as I am. What I mean by that is, if there are weekend group sessions which are getting conducted, or if there are daily sessions which are getting conducted, individually you may find it difficult to motivate yourself to sit for the sessions, but group sessions work very well. If you are not able to attend daily group sessions, at least one weekend group session is mandatory. So that will help. That has helped me a lot, and I'm sure that will help you also. One thing that I noticed is the moment I try to change my position, flow of it breaks. The flow of the meditation, the seriousness breaks. So if possible, you do it for 10 minutes only, but try to do it without changing the position. If sitting on the ground is not very comfortable, you can sit on the chair, but try to be still for 10 minutes. Then once you come to a point where you can comfortably say that you have achieved that 10 minutes of meditation with focus, then you can increase the duration. Before that, establish in 10 minutes and then move on towards increasing the duration. Listening to discourses is important. If you are not listening to discourses, then what you can do on YouTube, there are few videos, actually lots of videos which has question and answer sessions. So that also will help in motivating you to sit for sessions. So either discourses, if you don't have time, then such kind of small clips are also available on YouTube. You can just search for question and answer with goenka Vipassana and you will get a whole lot of videos. I think this goes to everybody. Consistency is more important than frequency. I think if you are doing 10 minutes a day also, maintaining that consistency, doing it for 1 month a stretch is more important than doing 2 hours one day, then giving a gap and then resuming it together, because this consistency is the one which will help in increasing the focus. So that is one thing that I wish to say over here. If you find it difficult to focus, then what you can do is you can start with Anapana and then follow it up Vipassana. That is also one of the reasons why we are able to focus more in 10-day courses, because it has 3 days of Anapana before. But in normal life, generally it is encouraged that Vipassana only should be done. If you find it difficult to focus, for me sometimes when I find it difficult to focus, I only do Anapana for I think 15-20 minutes. And then I gradually move to Vipassana. Anapana is very good for focus, and I think that will help more with dealing this kind of thoughts and also help in establishing your practice. So that were all the strategies that I have used personally, and it has helped me. Personally, I feel you can take your own time to reach to 2 hours per day of practice. Focusing on quality rather than quantity is important. It is a journey, so I don't think anybody should feel pressured to have that kind of routine. For all of us, that kind of routine is the goal. You can start consistently meditating, then reaching that. So that's all I wanted to say. If you have any questions, you can let me know.